Kulgara, in a land of myth and a time of magic, the destiny of a great kingdom rests on the shoulders of a young boy. His name, Merlin.
At Morgana's chambers, Arthur drifts underwater wearing his armor. A woman stands over him. Morgana wakes with a gasp. She is terrified. Morgana, whisper. Arthur, Arthur, at forest, day. Arthur slinks through the woods with a crossbow. Merlin bursts out of the trees and bumps into Arthur as he's about to shoot. Merlin, what is it? Arthur, angrily. You really are a total buffoon, aren't you, Merlin? Merlin, I was just asking. Arthur, who? Me or the deer? We're supposed to be hunting. It requires speed, stealth and an agile mind.
Merlin, so you're able to get by on 2 out of 3, then? A woman screams. Merlin, what was that?
Arthur, quiet. In distant Ulfric, please. Don't. Sophia, help. Arthur grabs his sword from Merlin. A man lays on the ground as a bandit draws his sword to kill him. A young woman struggles with 3 other purse snatchers.
Ulfric, no, no, I beg you. Mercy, Terence.
Give us some money. Sophia, help me, help me. Arthur shoots one of the robbers. The others attacks Arthur. The man gets up and holds the young woman while Arthur fights off the bandits. Merlin, spell, a large tree branch falls on top of one of the bandits trying to attack Arthur from behind. Arthur kills the one in front of him and the last bandit Terence runs off. Arthur looks up at the tree. Arthur, stroke of luck. Merlin, shouting to the running bandit. And let that be a lesson to you. Arthur gives him a look. Merlin, what? I was covering your back. Arthur, to the man and the young woman. You all right? Didn't hurt you? The young woman turns to Arthur and removes her hood. Sophia, no. Thanks to you. I'm Sophia. This is my father. Arthur, Arthur Pendragon. At your service. Arthur kisses Sophia's hand. He looks dazzled by her beauty. At council chamber, day, Sophia and her father stand before the court. Ulfric, my name is Ulfric, heir to Tir Mor. This is my daughter, Sophia. Uther, you're a long way from home. What brings you to Camelot? Ulfric, our home was sacked by raiders, we barely escaped with what few possessions we could carry. Arthur leaning on a pillar cannot take his eyes from Sophia. Uther, these are dangerous times. What will you do? Ulfric, we travel west to Kalian where we have family and, I hope, a new life. Uther, you must stay here a while. Arthur looks relieved. Break your journey. A noble family like yours is always welcome in Camelot. Arthur stares at Sophia when she exits with her father. She stares back at him. Merlin smiles. At Arthur's chambers, Arthur, make sure you put her in a decent room. Merlin, the one next door's empty. Arthur, the one next door's fine. Excellent, in fact, Merlin smiles. Shut up, Merlin. Merlin, what? I didn't say anything. Arthur, you didn't have to. I want to make it clear that my intentions towards Sophia are completely honorable. Put her in the room on the other side of the castle. It's warmer, more comfortable. Merlin, of course. She, is very beautiful. Arthur, yes, she is. Merlin, and if your intentions are honorable. Arthur, oh, they are. Most definitely. Merlin. Then what's the problem with her staying next door? Arthur, there isn't one. You've convinced me. Put her in the room next to mine. At corridor, Merlin hands Sophia a blanket. Merlin, if you need anything, just let me know. Sophia, thank you. Sophia enters her guest room. Morgana sees her. They both exchange a look. Morgana approaches Merlin anxiously. Morgana, who is that? Merlin, Sophia Tir Mor. We rescued her in the woods. Well, Arthur did most of the rescuing. Morgana, she can't stay here. Merlin, the king said that she and her father are welcome in Camelot. Is everything okay? Morgana, yes. Thank you. At physician's chambers. Morgana enters just as Gaius takes a flask off of the burner. Morgana, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. Gaius, nonsense, my child. My favorite patient is always welcome. Gaius kisses her cheek. Gaius, I'm sorry about the mess. Most of it's Merlin's. If I'd known you were coming, I'd have tidied up in here. Morgana, it's not that. It's just, your bench is on fire.
Gaius, my bench is on fire. What are you? Turns to look, my bench is on fire.
Morgana, hands him a bucket. Here. Gaius, uses tongs to drop the flask in the water. You're always getting me into trouble. What brings you to this dark corner?
Morgana, I had another dream. Gaius, I see.
Morgana, I saw Arthur lying underwater, drowning, and there was a woman standing over him, watching him die. And she's here in Camelot. Gaius, the mind plays tricks. It borrows from everyday life and plays out its own fantasy. Morgana, but I had this dream before she came to Camelot. Gaius, you must be mistaken. Morgana, no, I know what I saw. It was so real, so vivid. I saw him die, Gaius. She's going to kill him.
Gaius, these are just dreams, Morgana, nothing more. Are you taking the sleeping draught I made up for you?
Morgana, oh, it doesn't help. Gaius, here, try this. It will induce a deeper sleep, hands her a bottle, you've nothing to fear. Morgana, thank you, Gaius. Gaius, Morgana, don't bother Uther about this. No need to worry him. At Forest, Terence's campfire, night. Ulfric approaches to the Terence that got away. Terence stands up and draws his sword. Ulfric, you can dispense with the unpleasantries, your payment.
Ulfric holds up a leather pouch. Terence. I want more. My friends are dead because of you.
Ulfric, yes. I'm sorry. Such a dreadful waste of life. But if it's any consolation, you'll see them again soon, more sine tine.
Ulfric's eyes redden and he kills Terence with his staff. At Morgana's chambers, night, Morgana stirs restlessly in her sleep. She sees the same vision of Arthur drowning with Sophia standing over him. Morgana wakes, she is terrified. At Arthur's chambers, day, Arthur. I'm taking Sophia out for a ride today. You know, show her around.
Merlin, where do I come into this? Arthur, well, I'm supposed to be on patrol with the guard of my father this morning, so I need you to cover for me.
Merlin, what, and lie to the king? No, no way. No, he'll see right through me. He'll have me in the stocks quicker than you can say rotten tomatoes. Arthur, Merlin. Merlin sighs, Arthur. I need you to do this for me. Merlin, I am a terrible liar. I start sweating, my vision blurs, my brain stops working. Arthur, well, no change there, then. Look, I promised Sophia I'd take her out and if I don't turn up it'll blow my chances. Merlin, you like her, then? Arthur, yeah, what's not to like? I want to spend some more time with her, but I need to get my father off my back. I can't order you to lie to the king, but you'd be a friend for life if you did. Merlin, go on, then, you don't want to keep her waiting. Arthur, thanks, Merlin. I won't forget it. At Morgana's chambers, day. Morgana watches Arthur ride out of Camelot with Sophia. Guinevere, you're sure it's her? Morgana, I could never forget that face. Guinevere, you should speak to the king. Morgana. And tell him what? That I can see the future. Guinevere. If you think Arthur's life is in danger. Morgana. You know how he'd react. Guinevere, you're his ward, he wouldn't harm you. Morgana, he hates magic more than he cares for me. Guinevere, that's not true. Morgana, would you care to put it to the test? Guinevere. But what else can you do? Morgana. I'm going to have to try and stop her myself. At council chamber, day, Uther. Where's my son? Merlin. I'm not sure where he is. I think there's been a mistake. But it's not his fault. Arthur's, I mean. Uther. Stop gibbering and tell me where he is. Merlin. It's probably. No, it's definitely my fault. Uther. Where is Arthur? Merlin. He's not here.
Uther. I can see that. Merlin. Arthur wasn't sure of his orders, so he asked me to check with the guards to see if he was riding out this morning and, well, I may have forgotten.
Uther. You forgot? Merlin. I'm sorry, my lord. I am sure he would have been here had I told him. Uther. If this was a time of war, I would have you flogged. Merlin. And since it's not, we'll let it go just this once. At Lower Town, day, Merlin is pelted with rotten tomatoes in the stocks. Merlin. I forgot how much fun this was. At Forest, day. Arthur walks through the woods with Sophia. Arthur. The river's not far. It's just down here. Sophia. Arthur. Wait. Arthur. What is it? Sophia takes Arthur's hands and looks into his eyes. Sophia. Spell. Tous one frecure, Arthur.
Guard, in distant, you there. Halt. Sophia backs away and Arthur tackles her as an arrow flies at them. Arthur runs toward the guards.
Guard. Distant. Sorry. Arthur. Distant. Sorry. You nearly shot a crossbow in my face. What do you mean you're sorry? Sophia looks fearfully at the arrow in the tree behind her. Arthur jogs back. Arthur. You okay? Sophia. Yes. Thanks to you. Arthur. They were searching for the bandits that attacked you yesterday. Here. Arthur picks up Sophia's staff to give it to her. Sophia. Angrily. Don't touch that. Arthur. Puzzled. I'm sorry. Maybe we should go back. Sophia. It's fine. I'm sorry. I was upset. Now, don't let this spoil our day together. We were having such a nice time. Let's go down to the river. Arthur. I'm taking you back to Camelot. Sophia looks worried. Your father would never forgive me if I let anything happen to you. At physician's chambers, Merlin enters covered in rotten tomatoes. Gaius. Have you been playing with your food again? Merlin. The king put me in the stocks. Gaius. What did you do this time? Merlin. Nothing. Honestly, it wasn't my fault. Pours water in a basin. Arthur wanted to get out of going on patrol with Uther and the guard, so I covered for him and took the blame. Gaius. And Arthur was prepared to let you do this? Merlin. It was his idea. Merlin washes his face. Gaius. And what made him neglect his duties? It must have been something terribly important. Merlin. Smiling. Sophia. Gaius. Looks concerned. The girl from the forest? Merlin. He wanted to take her out for the day. Takes food out of his hair. He is besotted. Gaius. But they've only just met. Merlin. I know. I guess it must have been love at first sight. Gaius. Yes, I suppose it must be. At corridor. Gaius is walking toward Ulfric's bedchambers. He checks if anyone is around and enters. At Ulfric's guest chambers, Gaius snoops around and inspects Ulfric's staff and the writings on it. He doesn't hear Ulfric enter. Ulfric. Can I help? Gaius. Startles. Forgive me. The door was open. I thought someone may have broken in. Ulfric. Angrily. Looks like they have. His eyes have reddened. Gaius. I apologize for imposing on you. It won't happen again. Starts to leave. He has seen the red eyes and looks suspiciously at Ulfric. Ulfric. In threatening voice. Make sure it doesn't. At Main Square, Arthur and Sophia ride in and dismount. Sophia looks worried. Arthur. You're sure you'll be all right? Sophia. Yes. Thank you for today. Kisses Arthur's cheek. Good night, Arthur. Arthur watches her until she is inside the castle. At Griffin's staircase, Sophia enters the palace and bumps into Morgana. Sophia, sorry, smiles, Lady Morgana, isn't it? I'm Sophia. Morgana, dryly, what are you doing here? Sophia, my father and I are guests of the king. Morgana, you're lying. I know what you're going to do to him, and I won't let it happen. Sophia, does Arthur know you feel this way about him? Of course he does. I suspect he's already turned you down. Morgana, don't think you can make a fool out of me. Sophia, I won't have to. You're managing to do that well enough already. Morgana, stay away from him. Sophia, or what? Pause. Jealousy is such an unattractive trait in a woman. Morgana, if anything happens to Arthur, I'll find you. However long it takes. At Ulfric's guest chambers, Sophia enters. Ulfric, you've not been gone as long as I expected. Sophia, we were interrupted. Ulfric, what happened? Sophia, I was nearly killed. For a moment, I felt what it would be like to die a mortal death. He saved me. Someone so weak, so feeble, saved me. I can't bear to be like this a moment longer. Ulfric, you won't have to. Once his heart is yours, the gates of Avalon will open once again for us and we can regain our true form. Sophia, I need a little more time. Ulfric, you must hurry. The physician can see us for what we truly are. Sophia, and he is not alone. The Lady Morgana. She fears her powers, but that will not keep her quiet for long. Ulfric, tomorrow, you have to finish the enchantment, otherwise our chance to rid us of these mortal shells will be lost forever. At Arthur's chambers, Morgana, you seem very fond of her. Arthur, you make that sound like a bad thing. Morgana, not necessarily. I've just never seen you fall under a woman's spell so quickly. Arthur, if you're jealous, Morgana, it's okay to admit it. Morgana, don't flatter yourself. Arthur, come on. It wouldn't be the first time now, would it? Morgana, Arthur, I'm trying to protect you. She isn't what she seems. Arthur, why? What makes you say that? Morgana, I just have a feeling. It's difficult to describe. I had a dream. A nightmare. Arthur, laughing, you really are very sweet, Morgana. Morgana, why are you laughing? Arthur, your feelings, bad dreams. You don't have to make this stuff up. You can tell me the truth. It's obvious you like me. Morgana, less and less by the second. Arthur, all right. Whatever you say. Morgana, you're intolerable. Just hope I'm wrong about her. At Arthur's chambers, day, Merlin is getting Arthur's armor ready. Arthur comes in. Merlin, you're dressed. Arthur, nothing gets past you, does it, Merlin? Merlin, what, you're supposed to be wearing these. Your father's bestowing a knighthood on one of your men this morning. Arthur, I'm giving it a miss. Merlin, won't the king mind? Arthur, not if you, cover for me, again. By the way, thanks for yesterday, I heard you ended up in the stocks. Bad luck. Merlin, they were throwing potatoes at me. It's only supposed to be rotten fruit. Arthur, I'm not sure there's any hard and fast rules, but if it's any consolation, I think it was worth it. Merlin, gets closer, what? It went well. Arthur. Great. Fantastic. Arthur looks lost in his mind. She's incredible. Merlin, don't worry. I'll find a way to get you out of it. Arthur, just make sure you don't end up in the stocks this time. Merlin, I won't. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this whole deception lark. At Lower Town, day, Merlin is pelted with rotten food in the stocks. At Forest, day, Arthur and Sophia frolic through the woods. Arthur, wait. Careful. Sophia, don't worry. I will be. She comes close to Arthur and looks in his eyes. Tu swan frek, your, Arthur. Arthur, what are you doing? Sophia takes Arthur's hand and comes closer. Sophia, ek nom theo guys. Cum mora riser. Tu swan frek your, Arthur. Sophia and Arthur's eyes glow red. At physician's chambers. Merlin enters covered in rotten food. Gaius sits at his desk. Gaius, not again Merlin, surely? Merlin, you would think that the appeal of pelting the same person with fruit would wear off after a while, but, oh, no. Gaius, I heard that Arthur wasn't at the knighting ceremony. Merlin, yeah. Pours water in a basin. He wanted to make the most of his time left with Sophia. Gaius, so you helped him? Merlin, start to wash. I'm his servant, I had to. Gaius, you shouldn't have done that. Merlin, he looks up at Gaius. I fear that Sophia may not be all that she seems. Merlin, why? Gaius, gets up. What do you know about seers? Merlin, not much. They're supposed to be able to see the future, like prophets. Gaius, it's said to be an innate ability. Those who have it are born that way. Some aren't even aware that what they see is the future. It comes to them in their dreams. Gaius sits on a bench the other side of his desk. Merlin, what's this got to do with Sophia? Gaius, the night before she and Ulfric came to Camelot, Morgana had a dream. Sophia was in it. Merlin, surprised, before she arrived in Camelot. Gaius, I've been watching Morgana since she was very young. And though I tried to persuade myself otherwise, I realized that. Merlin has come closer and sat on the bench near Gaius. Some of the things she said she'd dreamt came to pass. I kept it secret from Uther, of course. The gift of prophecy is too close to the work of magic. Merlin, you think Morgana is a seer? Gaius, I don't think it. I fear it. Morgana said she dreamt that Sophia killed Arthur. Merlin, couldn't that have just been a dream? Maybe the woman Morgana saw just looked like Sophia. Gaius, that's what I hoped. But Ulfric caught me in Sophia's room and, in a flash of anger, his eyes changed color. Merlin, who are they? Gaius, it's not who they are that worries me. It's what they want with Arthur. At Arthur's chambers, Sophia continues enchanting Arthur. Sophia, our love is strong. You feel the same way, too. If we were ever to be parted. Arthur, I'd never let that happen. Sophia, you may not have the choice. There are some here who don't want us to be together. Arthur, I'll never let them come between us. Sophia, because we are in love. Arthur, because we're in love. Sophia, you must seek permission for us to marry, so that we can be together.
Arthur, till death do us part. Sophia, tu swan freak Arthur. Sophia's eyes glow red and she kisses Arthur. Sophia, till death do us part. Arthur's eyes glow red and Sophia exits.
At corridor, Ulfric meets Sophia outside Arthur's door.
Sophia, he's ready. Tomorrow he'll do what we need him to.
Ulfric, good, you have done well. I must go to the elders. Merlin sees Ulfric as he turns the corner to Arthur's chambers and follows him. At woods, Lake of Avalon, Merlin follows Ulfric into the woods. Ulfric reaches the lake. Merlin watches him from behind a tree. The wind has started to blow. Ulfric addresses the lake. Ulfric, I seek an audience with the she-elders. De Tieg Saa arranged by ID Bet du Denham.
A blue haze and fairies appear over the lake. The fairies fly faster than a human eye can see. Merlin adjusts his sight and through his eyes we watch everything in slow motion. Merlin is amazed by what he sees and he smiles.
Ulfric, I come before you to plead for the chance to win passage back to Avalon and a life of immortality. One of the fairies, the she-elder, comes close to Ulfric. Merlin watches. She-elder, your punishment for killing another she is a mortal body and a mortal life. You will never be able to return to Avalon. Aelfric, the crime was mine, not my daughter's. She elder, the gates of Avalon remain closed to your daughter, unless the soul of a mortal prince be offered up to them. Aelfric, thank you. An immortal life for my daughter is all that I desire, so I promise you the soul of the greatest prince of all. Arthur Pendragon. Merlin realizes that Arthur's life is in great danger. The fairies disappear into the lake and Aelfric laughs. At physician's chambers, Gaius. Avalon. What you saw at the lake, it's Avalon. It must be. Merlin. What's Gaius? The land of eternal youth. Mortals are only supposed to glimpse it the moment before death. Merlin. Well, I've seen it and I'm still here. Gaius. Extraordinary. What did it look like? Merlin. Does it matter? They're going to sacrifice Arthur and we don't even know who they are yet. Gaius. We do now. Gaius sits by his desk. Merlin, follow him. I found writing like this on the top of Aelfric's staff. It's Ogham, an ancient script. Abas Ocus Bith, Duthictad Bithlane, to hold life and death in your hands. From the writing on his staff and what you saw at the lake, I'm afraid I'm now certain. We're dealing with the she. Merlin. That does not sound like a good thing. Gaius. They're masters of enchantment. Merlin. You think Arthur's been enchanted? Gaius. Nods. Almost certainly. I'm afraid Morgana's dream is coming true. At council chamber, Arthur stands before Uther, who is reading documents. Morgana sits next to Uther. Aelfric and Sophia are one step behind Arthur. Arthur. I request this audience, Father, to discuss a matter of great importance. Merlin enters the council chamber and Arthur continues. It cannot have escaped your attention that I and Lady Sophia Tear-More have grown very close. Uther. Teasing, not too close, I hope. Arthur. We're in love. Uther and Morgana exchange a look. Which is why I come before you today to ask your permission to marry. Merlin and Morgana look concerned. Uther, first startled then laughs. I assume you're joking. Arthur. No, I'm going to marry her. Uther. But you only met 2 days ago. Arthur. We're in love. Uther. In love? We had no idea that you were such a romantic. Turning to Morgana. Had we, Morgana? Morgana. No. Pause. He's full of surprises. Arthur. I'm going to marry her. I don't care what either of you think about it. Uther. I thought you'd come to ask my permission. Arthur. Out of courtesy, nothing more. Arthur turns back, takes Sophia's hand and they walk toward the door. Uther. Guards. Door. The guards prevent Arthur and Sophia from leaving. Uther. Stands up. You've forgotten whose court you're standing in. Arthur. You won't stop me. If I want to marry her, I will. Uther. To the guards. Arrest Sophia and Aelfric Tear-More. The guards step forward. Arthur. What are you doing? Uther. And inform the executioner his services will be required tomorrow morning. Arthur. You can't do this. Uther raises his voice. Yes, I can. And unless you show me some respect. Leans to Arthur. I will. Arthur reluctantly bows his head. Uther. Release them. You've got your whole life ahead of you. Sophia is no doubt your first love, but she certainly won't be the only one. Enjoy yourself while you can. At courtyard corridor, Morgana follows Uther. Uther. You're not planning on springing any surprises on me, are you? Morgana. Don't you think you should be taking this a bit more seriously? Uther. He's young, foolish and in love. Give it a week and he'll be chasing after the next girl that catches his eye. Morgana. Sophia will never let that happen. Uther. Do you bear a grudge against our guest? Morgana. There's something about her I don't trust. You've seen the way Arthur changed since she's arrived. Uther. He's a fool in love. Morgana. She's dangerous. Uther. Dangerous. To who? Morgana, Arthur. Uther, why do you say that? Morgana, I just have a sense, a feeling. Uther, and what has she done to make you have this feeling? Morgana, nothing, yet. It's what she's going to do, I don't know how to tell you this. Uther, try. Whatever it is, you can tell me. They stop and face each other. Uther waits for Morgana to speak. Morgana, I've just seen girls like this before. They string men along and then drop them. I don't want to see him get hurt. Uther, I know you want to protect him, but some lessons we have to learn for ourselves. He'll hurt for a week and then Sophia will be forgotten. Morgana, I hope so. Uther, are you sure there's nothing else behind this? Morgana, yes, it's nothing. Uther leaves. Morgana looks desperate. At Arthur's chambers, night, Arthur's packs for travel. He wears his chainmails. Merlin enters. Arthur, get out. Merlin, I thought the king was a bit harsh. Arthur, I don't need sympathy, Merlin, especially not from you. Merlin, but I did think he had a point. Arthur, angrily. I ordered you to get out. Now leave me. Merlin. I know what you think you're doing, and I know you think you're in love with Sophia. Arthur, who are you to tell me what I'm thinking? Merlin, I'm your friend. Arthur, no, Merlin, you're my servant. Merlin, you don't know what you're doing. She's cast a spell on you. You're enchanted. Sophia enters the room with Ulfric. Sophia. I told you people would try to keep us apart. Arthur. I know. I won't let that happen. Merlin, look, don't listen to her, she's controlling you. Sophia, we can elope together. Get away from this place, these people. Merlin, I saw you. I followed him. They're planning to sacrifice you. Ulfric, you let your servant talk to your guests this way. Merlin, I know what you're going to do, because I followed you to the lake and I heard everything. You have to believe me. Arthur seems lost and looks like he does not know who to believe. Sophia, don't listen to him, Arthur. Let's go. Let's leave tonight. Merlin, she's going to kill you. Sophia plans to sacrifice you to buy a life of immortality. If you go with her, you'll die. Arthur, it doesn't make sense. We're in love. Merlin, they're magical beings. Look at the writing on the staff. Merlin lunges forward to grab Ulfric's staff. Ulfric's eyes flash red. Merlin, look at his eyes. Look at him. Do you believe me now? Arthur, do you see? Arthur turns round. His eyes are also red. Arthur, I see everything. Merlin lunges toward Ulfric, but Ulfric uses his staff. Ulfric, Na Mibben Sis. Ulfric's spell throws Merlin against the wall and knocks him unconscious. Morgana's chambers. Night, Morgana looks out her window and sees Arthur leaving the square with Sophia and Ulfric. She runs out of her chambers. At Physician's chambers. Night, Morgana runs in. Morgana, he's gone. Arthur's gone with her. She's taken him. Gaius, slow down. Morgana, I know you don't believe me, but I'm so sure it's going to happen. My dream's going to come true. Gaius, I do believe you. Morgana, I've got to tell Uther. Gaius, you can't. Morgana, I've got to do something. If I don't, then Arthur will die. Gaius, you can't tell Uther about your dream. If Uther thinks you've got the seer's power, he'll charge you with witchcraft. Morgana, I don't have a choice. I couldn't live with myself knowing I'd let him die. Gaius, wait. We've known each other a long time. You trust me, don't you? Morgana, yes, you know I do. Gaius, then trust me now. Stay here and don't say a word to anyone about this. Morgana, but Arthur. Gaius, I'll take care of it. Morgana, where are you going? Gaius, to find someone who can help. He leaves and motions her to stay inside. At woods, night, Arthur walks through the woods with Sophia and Ulfric. At Arthur's chambers, night, Gaius enters as Merlin is just coming around. Gaius, Merlin, what happened to you? Gaius kneels down and helps Merlin. Merlin, Ulfric, where's Arthur? I have got to go after him. What's that buzzing noise? Gaius, careful, Merlin, you can barely stand up. Merlin, I have to go. Gaius, you can't, not in this state. You owe it to your powers that you survived this at all. Merlin, I'll be fine, he needs me. Gaius, has that buzzing stopped? Merlin, yeah. Gaius, liar. Merlin, I have to go. Gaius, he'll die if I don't. Gaius, the Shia are vicious people. You must be careful. Merlin, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Merlin walks toward the window. Gaius, Merlin, points at the door. This way. Merlin, just testing. Merlin runs through the forest. At Lake of Avalon, an oblivious Arthur is standing with Sophia and Ulfric. Sophia puts his staff on the grass. Ulfric, go. They are waiting for you. Sophia, I don't understand. You're coming too. Ulfric, only one of us can pass through. This was never meant for me. Sophia, but I only wanted this so we could both return to Avalon. Ulfric, your destiny is on a different path to mine. It is my fate to live a mortal life. Sophia, crying, I don't want to leave you. Ulfric, you must. Once the ceremony begins, you have to go through with it. The elders expect a soul. If they don't get his, they will take yours. Sophia, goodbye. She hugs her father. I will never forget you. She takes Arthur's hand and leads him into the lake. Merlin continues running. Sophia and Arthur are now in the lake. They stop, water at waist height. They hold hands. Ulfric starts the ceremony. Ulfric, Ear bend Daden Neva. Kuon gar Iewe deal Sai or. Sheor. Ich bay deal Sai Nea. Dea or Quill ogre him. Merlin trips in the woods, then keeps running. Ulfric, and, when. Fliete or. Domdaig. Dea or Quill ogre him. And, when. Fliete or. Sophia kisses Arthur. Ulfric, Domdaig. Dea or Quill ogre him. And, when. Fliete or. Domdaig. Dea or Quill ogre him. Arthur Pendragon. Arthur falls backwards into the water. Merlin keeps running. Ulfric keeps incanting. Ulfric, Ear bend Daden Neva. Kuon gar Iewe deal Sai Nea. Sheor. Ig bay deal Sai Nea. And, when. Fliete or. Domdaig. Dea or Quill ogre him. Merlin arrives and sees Ulfric's Sophia's staff on the ground. Merlin, Onbregdan. The staff flies into Merlin's hand. Merlin points it at Ulfric. Merlin, Swilter, Gold Beor. A bolt of light hits Ulfric and he explodes. Sophia, Father. No. No. Sophia tries to run to the shore. Merlin points the staff at her. Merlin, Ogre Kjols. A bolt of light hits Sophia and she explodes. Merlin takes his jacket off as he runs into the water. Merlin, Arthur, Arthur. Arthur. Merlin finds Arthur under the water and brings him to the surface. At Arthur's chambers, Merlin and Gaius sit at Arthur's bedside waiting for him to wake. Arthur groans. Merlin, Arthur, Arthur. Arthur, what happened? Where am I? Merlin, can you remember anything? Arthur, oh. Oh my head. There was a girl. Sophia, I asked my father something about her. I asked him. Bolts up in bed. What was I thinking? Merlin, well, we did wonder. Especially when you eloped with her last night. Arthur, I did what? Gaius, Merlin had to bring you back to Camelot. Arthur, I don't recall any of this. Gaius, must have been some blow. Arthur, what blow? Merlin, well, when I caught up with you, I couldn't persuade you to return, you were beyond reason. So I had to make you. Arthur, you managed to knock me out. Merlin. Yep. With a lump of wood. Gaius. He only did it to bring you back safely. Arthur points menacingly at Merlin. No one can know about this. Points at Gaius. Any of it. Is that understood? Merlin and Gaius look at each other and then nod. Arthur falls back on his pillows. King's Palace, Council Chamber, day. Arthur stands before the court. Uther. When you failed to show up for patrol this morning, I feared you'd eloped with Sophia in a fit of passion. Arthur turns to Merlin. Merlin, I wish he had. Because then I wouldn't be stood in front of you feeling like an idiot, again. Uther, this is becoming a near daily occurrence for you. Merlin, but there was a mistake. And I would not say it was anyone's fault. Arthur looks at him, not really. You could say it was mine. Uther, could somebody tell me what happened? Merlin. Well, Uther, someone with a brain. Arthur. After Sophia left, I wanted to take my mind off her, so I went for a hunt. Morgana, and killing things mends a broken heart. Arthur. No, but it's good fun. Merlin was meant to inform you that I wouldn't be back till later today. Uther, to Merlin, have you some kind of mental affliction? Merlin, probably. Gaius, I'm looking into it, sire. Uther, well, I hope for our sake you find a cure, or we'll find ourselves with a food shortage on our hands. Merlin chuckles, food shortage, lower town, day. Merlin is pelted by rotten food in the stocks. At physician's chambers, Morgana knocks and enters. Gaius, Morgana. Morgana, I've had some troubled nights. Gaius, I prepared another draft for you. Have the dreams stopped? Morgana shakes head. Arthur told me what actually happened. Addresses Merlin, you must have hit him round the head really hard. Merlin, yeah. I feel really bad about that. Gaius. Here you are. Remember, every night just before you go to sleep. Morgana, thank you Gaius. Morgana leaves. Gaius, she must never find out the truth. Merlin. Why not? She had a premonition that helped save Arthur's life. Gaius, and it could have cost her her own. If Uther ever found out, things would never be the same again. It must remain a secret. Merlin, is she like me? Can she use magic? Gaius, no one's like you, Merlin. Merlin, but she has the gift. Gaius, for her sake, I hope not. Morgana's chambers. Morgana wakes from another nightmare.